Hey YouTube, playing with the Kraken again, the guitar that I never really finished. Always felt, well, I was always going to buy a bridge for it. I knew which bridge I was going to get. This one is, I think it is an old 70s Fender one, but it doesn't really look too bad there, but it's because it's kind of grotty and rusty. It just looks like I've made this guitar out of bits I had lying about, and that's not really the case. So, voila, a new one, a Goto bridge, with, this is called an in-tune bridge, but I got one that actually just said Goto rather than saying in-tune, so it's got the compensated saddles, which I've never used before. So I'm just interested to see if it makes any difference to the sound. I'm going to put Elixir strings on this, but I'm going to leave these strings on just now, swap the bridges over and see if it makes a difference. So this one has steel saddles that are not compensated, and if anything I would say they were bent the wrong way. So I suppose maybe it might sound more in tune. Not that I think it sounds out of tune. It's one of those things, a telly bridge is a pretty simple piece, you know, there's not an awful lot to it here. I paid an extra £1 to get one at the side smoothed down, just to make it a bit more interesting. Not that I think, you know, the edges of the ashtray bit, whereas this one's actually been cut. I could have angle grinded this one down, but 45 quid for a bridge. It's one of those things, if you're going to upgrade your guitar, say you've got your Squire Telecaster, and you think, I'll put a £45 Goto bridge, I don't know if that's really going to be worth it or make any difference. I'm just looking at it this way. It's all after watching that Anderton's video the other day where they were trying out the most expensive guitars they had, and I think they went from £3 to £10 or something like that, and it's like, this could be in that category, and for the case of putting a £45 bridge on it, it's more aesthetic. If this one looked perfect, but it does annoy me the fact that the saddles are kind of, if you were going to kink that saddle, you would kink it that way. It's kink that way, so I mean, intonation, it's not, it should be better. Plus, brass saddles, do they make a difference from steel ones? I don't like the way these have the wee notches on them, so they don't actually have proper grooves to sit on. So you kind of have to do your own string spacing. I don't like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause this video. I can't be bothered editing, so hopefully if I just pause this and then just leave it and don't touch it again, I'll put the bridge on and I'll just be back again instantaneously, but with the good bridge on. Will that work? Don't know, let's see. Whoa! Just the time jump there. It looks better. Straight up. I'm not sure I like this. I assume it's meant to be. We'll have to look. It's got this bit's here shiny, and this bit's more of a sort of mottled thing. I assume it's meant to be like that. Don't know, but it does look better. And to be honest, I've only played it unplugged, but it does. I mean, I think of all the guitars you could ever test this on, this is probably about as accurate as you can be, especially since you're going to get to see it in a second. Hear it. I should probably play it first, see what it sounds like playing. Very bright. I need to lower this pickup a little bit. It's like, I think I might need to route it out a little bit. It's just kind of borderline. It's sitting on top of the cables from the neck pickup, but it just needs an extra that much more. So neck pickup. I'm really noticing I'm so used to playing Telecasters with jaggy bits on it that I really notice I'm actually getting to play it differently because it no longer has the, not that they were cutting my hand, but you know, you get the wee slight jagginess, so you just tend to avoid it. Also, I'm now noticing that I'm actually picking from here much more because the edge of the bridge isn't there anymore. So I think it does actually, there is Oh, the rat pedal on, that's why it was sounding so crazy distorted. Yeah, that's more like it. I was worried I wasn't going to get away with the saddles either, getting in tones, because I felt they were a bit extended. You know, these screws do not protrude beyond, and this saddle, the screw's only halfway in. Very nearly, anyway. So there's the older one. I actually couldn't hold it up close enough. There's the. I actually remember where I got this from. This is not the one I actually intended to put on this guitar. Came off the CSL Telecaster. It was an American bridge, and I put it onto the Transatlantic Disaster Caster. It was one of Jen's ones. I'd forgotten that I'd put that bridge on it. It had these tuners on it as well, and I was like, when I said to Jen, like, well, we can't sell that one because you painted it on the plane, so I'll keep it. Didn't want it out that way. But I basically was like, you're not getting my Goto tuners. I got these off a Hondo Fame series about 10 years ago when I bought it, traded, fixed it up and sold it. I put other tuners on it and kept the Goto one, so I had to have the tuners, but I forgot about the bridge. So this bridge actually came on another one of them. If you look back in my videos, I did an Ibanez Silver Cadet, I think it was called. But it was basically that exact guitar, and it had the same mods. The thing about these guitars is, see if you look at where the screws are to hold the pickup in. If you look at the actual proper ones that come, the stock ones that come on these guitars, they're upside down, and also a slightly different size the pickup is. See the two screws at the top and one's at the bottom. So you can't really use this bridge for a normal Telecaster pickup because the hole's not big enough, so you need to really modify it. So that's why whenever you see these, are normally, if it's someone's put, like in the case of this one, someone put oh, I've actually got an original Fender pickup. Yeah, I'm going for it. I like the look of the Bill Lawrence, but I mean, I do have a Fender 70s pickup, which I should sell, but I might put them in this. Do you know what it's done? It's made it feel more like the Corker. I do need to lower that pickup. It's sharp enough. Bit of a tell if it's hum cancelling, actually. There you go. It is. So, no noise. There's your hum cancelling noise. So that's the neck pickup split to a single coil. Hear the noise? Yeah, so it's some sort of hum cancelling bridge pickup, because it would make that noise if it wasn't. Oh, it sounds absolutely fantastic. Yeah, so I'm thinking of going along the lines of, yes, a bridge does make quite a big difference. Not that that's a pure terrible bridge that was on it, and this is like the most basic of bridges you can get. You know, it's basic. Well, okay, technically a P-based bridge is less. You know, it's basically just that. So you get 3 saddles and a bent piece of metal, basically. So my theory on that was, what difference does it really make whether you've got an expensive one or a cheap one when it kind of does the same thing? Totally get it with a Floyd Rose, because look at all the bits. There's about 50 different components that make up a Floyd Rose, so getting them all accurate and better will make the bridge better by miles. But I'm just thinking, a bent piece of metal with saddles on it, surely there can't be that much. It does seem to make a difference. I don't know if you'll hear it in the video. Would it be interesting? I've not touched the amp in like that. Oh, I did. I touched the distortion, didn't I? That was a mistake. No, it seems to have completely solved that bridge pickup. Maybe a bit close. Still think we need to lower it down a little bit. But I think the steel saddles give it more zing. Sometimes zing's a good thing though. The zing is the thing. Shouldn't wear this orange t-shirt with this guitar. Should be a black t-shirt. I've really hurt my hand doing that nylon stringer. See, just using the... I was using a string winder as well, but see, just taking the strings off this and putting it back on again using the string winder. That is, whatever, it's the holding something like that. And, ow! Ah, come on, that's got to go and sit in that shelf somewhere it is. So I did a video of this the other night actually. I think I was maybe just when I'd ordered the bridge. And I had an awful lot of fun playing it. It really is awful good. No sustain though, eh? And that's using this Bill Lawrence pickup, which I wasn't sure about. I'm looking forward to getting the extra strings on this. Yeah, I really do feel this is now, it's that whole, when, like if you're talking about, I'll go for, it's a noisy baby, is that the amp? Yes, need to get a new power block. I'm also looking up audio interfaces. I'm going to get one. I'm going to up the sound of this completely. I think, to be honest, a few folk have told me that the sound quality is one of the really bad things with the channel. So I'm going to mic up the amps and then have a proper mic. I'll wait till the first Temu thing arrives. You can get one in Temu for 30 quid. Looks exactly the same as the Behringer one. Make me think it is the Behringer one, so that'll do. Unless anyone's got an audio interface they want to sell for less than that I can use. No, I think it's kind of opened up. I was saying there about the hi-fi. It's like the whole thing about changing. If you, I wasn't ever into hi-fi. I used to go to richer sounds, you know, and it's like I've been in Hi-Fi Corner a couple of times, but it's like, oh my god, it's £1,000 for a CD player. Wow. Ah, that's annoying. I managed to do that whole pause thing at the start, but I ran out of space, so I'm going to have to stitch these two together. So that was an actual edited scene there. Yeah, talking about hi-fi separate, you could buy, you could look up and you could get, you could spend hundreds of pounds on the lead that goes from your CD player into your amp, which, if you've got an extremely high-end, every part of it costs £1,000 thing, and you're using a shitty, one of the plastic, with the red and white connector phono things on it, and then you swap onto a pure gold laser cut one, that's where you're going to hear the difference on thousands of pounds worth of equipment. You're not going to notice that on my hi-fi the same way. Well, it's all right, yeah, but it's not exactly in pristine condition. Like a normal, you're not going to notice that much of a difference because it's not super quality. But I think changing the bridge on this made way more of a difference than it would have if I'd changed the bridge on a, like a Squire or something like that. It's just, it does more. Not that wasn't replacing something that was broken. I was just replacing something that was slightly different. I think the brass saddles, going by this one, they seem to, and I don't know about the in-tune thing, although I did notice that when I was intonating it, I did manage to get the D and the G strings both intoned. Whoa! Rather than kind of going, well, kind of put it halfway between, so the D's sort of on the sharp side and the G's sort of on the flat side, that kind of thing. Whereas this one, actually, you can get them both in. But you can buy the Wilkinson, you can buy compensated saddles for like a £5 or something like that. Might do that for another guitar. That bridge pickup is damn spiky. Turn the volume down a wee bit. Single coil. But I think there's just more sound that comes out it. It's like the cheaper gear and the more the cheaper amps and all the cheaper stuff, the middle bit of the sound, if you imagine this is like your range, the middle bit's kind of pretty easy to nail. I notice that with like the modelling amps and stuff like that. The middle bit that you hear if you're listening to it on MP3, it's totally exactly the same sound. It's when you start going up a bit expensive, you suddenly go, oh, there's an awful lot more high end. It's like going from like an MP3 to a CD and then to a record, and it's like every time it just goes, here's your sound bar, oh, there you go, so there's your CD, oh, it's digitally perfect, no hiss. Then you go to record, and it's just like, oh, there's more high end and more low end, which you can't, it's only a couple of percent of the sound, but a couple of percent of the sound, it makes a difference. It does, when you're up at the top. I'm not convinced we're in tune yet, but these strings are old and have been on another bridge, so technically the wee grooves round about the... Plus you've got to tighten up the tuners at the top, don't you, because the strings have been off and then back on again. Oh wow, when it's in tune. Gotta maybe even perform myself some reverb for that. Yeah, this bridge has definitely made a difference. As the guy who built it said, it's meant to be a screaming death metal machine. Well, to me it doesn't look that way, but... something. This guitar would cut through the mix like mentalness. Listen to the pure ah. There you go. I don't even know what that. I think is that a riff I've just bumped off something. I'm definitely pan muting it more because I don't have those jaggy bits, which obviously I could have sorted by, to get rid of jaggy bits. By that I'm talking about the wee grub screws that hold the saddles up. Sometimes they stick out beyond and they're a bit jaggy. That's why these guitars came with ash tree covers. You can get rid of that by buying shorter grub screws, angle grinding the bottoms off, take the grub screws out, angle grind the bottoms off, and then putting them back in again, or shimming the neck so that the neck's sitting further back, so the bridge is sitting higher. So that's the ways of getting around it. I never bothered doing it with that other one because it was always going to be a bit permanent. This was a bridge I had my eye on. Well, I changed my mind at the last minute and decided to get the one that didn't have the edges on it, which is just to make it a bit more interesting. So you want a normal telly bridge, or you can have a normal telly bridge, just get a slight modification just to make it a little bit not a normal one. But I mean, so I think it has made a difference to the sound of the guitar. Definitely. But ultimately, what I wanted to do was make the guitar look like I hadn't made it myself. Now it looks like what it was originally meant to be. It looks like a new guitar. That doesn't look particularly in line, though, does it? I'll put that in there and we'll give it a see. No, it's kind of there. I think it's because it's an optical illusion because of the bridge, the angle of the bridge pickup that makes this look like it's a wee bit squint. But I made sure that wasn't squint. It totally doesn't look squint. Doesn't look straight. Totally is though. Totally is. Totally is. Straight. So yeah, it must just be the odd angles that's making it look slightly wonky. So I'll be using this on tomorrow night's live stream. Whether this is today's video or not, I don't know. I should maybe put the video out when I was playing this guitar. There will have to be another one on this as well. Sorry, you keep hitting you with it. But I mean, I've got a really expensive guitar. They're not going to see this anywhere else. So all the videos you see of this will be of this exact one. When I put Elixir strings on it, I think I'm going to go up a gauge, go up to 10s maybe, because this is a Gibson scale. So, you know, 9s on a Gibson are the same as 10s. No, 10s on a Gibson are the same tension as 9s on a Strat. And I put 9s in this, so technically I'm running this on 8s sort of thing just now. So maybe, you know, 10s maybe just would run it to. But I mean, it's amazing. I think the main problem with this guitar is for my American handmade one in the world custom series. I got that a couple of months before it, so I've got 2 of them. If I'd had this, if it maybe been a year apart, if I'd had a year with the Corker and then get another one, it would be like, oh. But I mean, I've been getting that itch the last couple of weeks, just sitting there going, ah. Not that I need a new guitar, obviously. I just fancy something a bit inspiring to play, and suddenly putting this on it, whether it makes it sound better, whether it makes it look better, doesn't really matter. If I play it more and enjoy it more, then it was worth it. Although £47 for a bridge is kind of excessive, but everything else is top of the range. You know, Bill Lawrence and DiMarzio, Gota, hand built the most ridiculous flame maple neck yet ever seen in the world. It never looks good for a straight, but see when you're playing it, look at the. So this is what you see when you're playing. Look at how flamed it is when you're playing it. You know, that's the bit you see. It's totally ridiculous, and I don't know whether it was done intentionally. Well, it possibly was. The angle is there so that you see it when you're playing it. You know, it doesn't look as impressive. It does still look pretty impressive from there, but yeah, it's not really shown it because I mean, obviously I've seen flame maple before, but just never quite at this ridiculousness. I've only ever really seen wood this ridiculous on, you know, those 10 grand PRSs with is it Wood Library. That's the only time I ever see wood of that ridiculousness. On what could be a plain Jane body. I was actually looking up who was making a new guitar. I was watching a G&L Factory video, and the guy was talking. He did that's amazing. It was a sort of kind of reddish colour here and sort of dark black down here, but you could see the grain through it, and it was ash. I was like, yeah, put grain filler in it. I'm wondering if you could put grain filler in this, because I mean this, it just does look like a homogeneous Trump orange blob, but it is proper ash. You can see the grain in it. I'm wondering if I should be putting coloured grain filler in this and then try and get the finish like what's on that that Fender Telecaster that I was playing yesterday or the other day. You know, saying it was like that opaque finish when it looks like it's a solid colour until you hold it up to the light and oh no, look at the grain in behind it. I think that's how they do that. But my hand hurts too much to play the guitar. Rock on! Catch you later.